This episode, we're back on the C10. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm Joby. This is the Naturalgearhead Garage. This is my C10. The last episode, we started the body work on the bed. This episode, we're gonna finish the body work on the bed with some sheet metal, and then we're gonna try to paint match this patina. So that's the goal for the video. We're gonna jump right in to getting those bed sides fabricated and installed on the bed of this truck. All right, so that's the repair from the last video. Obviously, we still need to fill in this, but we have rust here, here, and here. So I marked out a rough cutout of what I'm gonna cut out metal-wise, get that opened up, get the spot welds out of here, see what we got going on, and then we may make this a little bit bigger. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna cut this out and see where we're at. So we got it all cut through the body, except for the spot welds, which this is already rusted loose under here. Got some spot welds in here, still holding it. So get my spot weld cutter, grind this down, find the spot welds, drill them out, pop this panel off. Get pretty close to seeing what's under here. Still working on getting it mocked up. I got this all cut out the way I want it and lined up nice. This needs pushed in like that. Lines up with our cuts, and then we'll probably cut it straight across here. And then I've got a line here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this, make this cut through both panels, get that where we want it, and then we'll make our final cut across the top. And hopefully this panel fits in decent to where we can weld it in. But I don't know. Learning as I go. All right, so we cut out more than I anticipated. Wanted to get it up closer to this body line up here. And there's our panel down there. We'll start fitting it up and see how it goes. All right, so here I got some super strong magnets holding it in place, kind of mock it up. Cleaned off a few spots here so we can get some tack welds in and start tacking this thing. And it's starting to take shape. It's looking pretty good so far. The panel is now fully welded in. We got the weld here. I welded along this body line to kind of hide the weld there. Spot welded underneath here to attach it to that inner wheel well. And I took a grinder and just knocked these welds down a little bit and flattened them out. I didn't do anything with these welds yet because I'm still not sure how I'm going to finish the welded part yet. If I want to grind it all down, putty it, probably not. Or just basically leave it like this, knock them down a little bit and run those stitch welds like I did on the Jeep. I thought that looked pretty cool. Not sure how I want to finish it out yet, but for now, this side is pretty much done besides fitting the trim on the bottom and putting screws in it. And then we'll go to the other side, basically do the exact same thing over there that we did here, except this panel will be the full size rather than just cutting it off here because this side was solid. The other side is not solid. So do all this again on the other side, then we're ready to start painting. So this is looking way better. We got the trim all mounted on there. It will be coming off when I spray the red and start matching the patina. Knock down all those welds, knock down the welds on this a little. They're not completely gone, but we just knocked down the high spots, sprayed some flat black paint just to keep them from rusting. And I'm gonna leave them just like that. I'm not gonna finish this all out. I'm gonna leave them just like this and spray the patina look right over top of it. But before we do any of that, we need to hop to the other side because it is in way worse condition and get that wheel arch going over there. So this side is significantly worse, and you can see it's just returning to Mother Earth. Basically, it's getting really, really bad. And we're gonna use the full arch panel on this side. I've got my leather apron in there covering the fuel tank and the filler neck, and we're gonna come in here and cut all this out. You can see it already bubbling through here. So it'll cut all this and repair all that. We'll cut down possibly into this panel too, and just make sure we get all that out of there, all this bubbling, all that's gonna be gone. We're gonna go straight up, just like we did the other side, and get this to just disappear. So it's always fun with the spot welds under here, but chances are, you can see a lot of them are probably gone already. So that's a plus. So start marking this all out and getting it cut up and replaced, and we'll move on to the patina paint job. Okay, so I got the initial cut done. This piece is, you can see how bad it is now that it's completely out. Pretty rotten. The inner structure is rotten a little bit here. It's still strong, but it is rotten. I may repair this, I'm not 100% sure, but the rest of this is okay. I'll clean up this flange so that I can plug weld the new arch panel in place to this flange. I'm gonna treat all the rust in here so it doesn't continue to rust. Hopefully, it'll at least slow it down. Next step will be take the new piece, because now this is completely out of the way and off here, I can get that piece to sit all the way flush without that old material in between. and get an accurate measurement. I'll mark it all, clamp it all. I'll cut just outside this line on the new material and the old material and cut them together all the way down this body line just behind here, and actually right across this line with the panel that I'd already installed, so that we have this weld. It'll just be the weld continuing across here and weld up, body line down in the front, just like we did on the other side. Should come out pretty clean. Cross our fingers, see what happens. All right, so we made our final cuts, got our piece put in there with magnets, tacked it all in, and now it's just a slow process of just tack, 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 turn the fans on, let it cool down, turn the fans off, tack, 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 turn the fans on, just repeat one after another until these little tacks, one at a time, all these little spots connect, fully welding this piece in. And we did line it up with this piece here, so that should look pretty good when we're done. And it's just a long process from here, guys. Unfortunately, it's just how it goes. So I'm gonna just continue doing this, tacking it, cooling it, tacking it, cooling it, till it's fully welded. That's all you can do, little by little. We're getting there. And then at the end, I'll plug weld all these. I've already drilled my holes in the new panel, and I'll plug weld it to that inner structure. And she'll be dialed. Okay, so this thing is finally fully welded in. That took forever. Just so you don't warp the panels, you gotta do a little bit till it's fully welded. And it's fully welded now. Underneath, I treated all the metal with a rust converter, and then I went ahead and put a truck bed coating on there so that hopefully it does not rust through again. Got everything fully welded, put a flat black paint on the welds to keep them from flash rusting overnight. Plug welded everything in the wheel well, also painted that, so that's protected. Now I just need to fit the trim, run some new screws in there because the new panel does not have provisions for the screws for the trim. Get the trim all fitted, that'll be dialed in, then we'll pull the trim back off, and we'll be ready to start matching this patina paint job. All right, we're out here, we got the truck in the paint booth. There's barely any bugs out here. It's gonna be fine. But let me show you the supplies we're using to try to paint match this patina. I'm hoping it comes out okay. I did do a test piece, and I'll show you that, and we'll see how it came out. So here's our supplies. We got some real high-end paints here, some quick color from Walmart. That's fast dry, so it should dry real fast. Nothing but the best, $1 something a can, and some tractor paint. And we went the International Harvester Red color, which is gonna match great. Got my full face respirator or rag for, you know, whatever. My spray gun right here, just it's right here in case you're going to SEMA or you want a concourse paint job. That's what you need right here. All right, so here's my test piece right here. The base, I use Color Place flat black on this side and quick color right there, gloss black on the other side. I wasn't sure if it was gonna matter for the base, if it was a flat or a gloss. And in the flat, I only had the Color Place style, which you can't even buy anymore. That's what, this replaced the Color Place, the quick color at Walmart there. That used to be my go-to. It was 98 cents a can. It's gone now. So, International Harvester Red over the top. This is what it came out with right here. So, we got a pretty good test piece here, and you can see it didn't matter if it was gloss or flat because they came out the same. And if we come over to the side of the truck here, do a quick, yeah, that ought to match up pretty good. I think that'll look just fine, close enough. Yep, so now I'm gonna get the mask on and just spray the rest of this because I only did the seams. I'll spray both sides with the black paint, and then we'll start covering it with some red, see how it comes out. All right, so we took a lot of effort and really masked this thing off. Not so much over here or the glass or mirror, but the wheel's gonna be fine and the tail light. I feel like the wind's gonna naturally just carry everything this way right out of the paint booth. Same over here. So we're all covered. It's not gonna drift up there. It's gonna just naturally drift this way. That's the way the paint booth is designed. So should be fine. So I'm gonna wipe this down with a rag, and then we'll start putting the base on. Probably let that sit for about 10 minutes. Then we'll start putting the top coat on, and now probably let that cure overnight before we start going in and kind of giving it this look right here and try to blend this all in together. So I don't know. I'm sure it's going to come out just great. Just keep the bugs away. I'll let them all know that we're painting over here so that they won't stick in the paint. All right. So we're gonna let that just kind of flash for about 10 minutes and then we'll start getting some red on there. And then, like I said, I don't know, I'm just kind of winging it. I sprayed a little bit up top. You've seen some of that because there was a lot of pink. It looked like Bondo. I'm not real sure what's under there originally, but figure I'm just spraying some black in there. I'll come back with red and we'll just try to make the whole thing match. I don't know. Kind of making it up as I go. We'll see what happens. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes. The paint has now flashed off. We're ready to start putting the red paint on there. I also painted the top bed rails black because they were faded into like a pink, and I painted them completely black, and I put a lot of black. Now I'm looking in the camera, the bed is mostly black now, so, but that's okay, because now we're gonna get out the red and make the bed pretty much all red. And then after it cures, we'll start sanding down through that red, bringing that black base back out, and then hopefully it'll match the rest of this patina on the truck. And when we're done with rocker panels, cab corners, all the bed, stuff like that down the road in the future, we might seal it all in with a matte clear if we like how it looks, which I think it's gonna come out pretty good or good enough for me. And so let's get out the red spray paint and start putting some red on this thing. All right, so we're getting ready to start the International Harvester Red. Now, I said I used 1 can of black. You see me throw the can and spray the other. That can only had about a 1/4 can in it, and we still have some left in the can that I started the second time. So it's about 1 full can altogether. This feels like about a half. So I'm probably gonna use all of this because we're gonna need a little more coverage on this, and then maybe get into another can, but we'll see. Hopefully I can maybe this spreads more. It has a better tip on it. That other one has a pretty crappy tip. It was spraying like that wide. So hopefully this sprays a little bit better. That's the bad thing about spray paint, really tight spray pattern. So that's when you get the tagger striping. So let's start spraying this on, see how it comes out. Okay, so that's all the red. About a half can left, so another 1 can, so 2 cans do the whole thing. I guess I bought too much, but that actually looks pretty good. I didn't want to cover it all, but I do have bugs in it already, so that kind of stinks. Worry about that tomorrow. You can see it's a little splotchy, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want it perfect because the more you put on, the more you got to get off. So just wanted it covered, and we got a nice base. So we'll let this dry overnight, and then we'll reconvene in the morning and hopefully make this match that over there. So cross your fingers, see what happens. See you in a bit. Okay guys, so it's the next day and we're ready to start sanding this thing down and bringing that black paint back out and dull down all this red paint because it's pretty shiny. It's cured overnight, so that means it's not like fully cured because this tractor paint gets really hard and hard to sand down. So I didn't want it curing for a week, basically. Just let it cure overnight. It's dry to the touch. It's ready to be sanded. We've got some soapy water. This is just car wash soap. You can use Dawn dish soap, whatever you want, just so you have a little bit of lubricant, and some red Scotch-Brite pads. This is just a regular scrubby pad. It's usually a bigger sheet. I cut it down into 4s. And this right here is not super aggressive, like sandpaper, where it's gonna put the big gouges in it. This will be a little smoother, and with the soap being like a lubricant, it'll make it work really well and just keep those gouges out of it. And we want to get this paint all dulled down. So I do need to scuff over the whole thing and bring the black out where I want it. I'm just going to try to make it look like the front and the fenders and try to mimic it a little bit. I'm just making it up as I go. Just keep the pad wet with the soap and work your way in. Just bring it out wherever you want it. It's just kind of like there's no real rule to it. So just have fun with it. And if you don't like it when you're done, spray some more paint over it, do it again. It's not that big of a deal. It's pretty easy to do. So let's start sanding. It's always nice having a nice sanding booth like this too. And get yourself a nice paint booth and a nice sand booth. And it really does help. I feel like that's looking pretty good. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's looking pretty good, I think. So we're gonna leave it like that, let it dry, and we'll know exactly what we got. We might have to come in and touch it up. We wanna make sure we got all the real shiny enamel parts knocked down so that it's nice and dull, and that this kind of blends in with the rest of the truck. I don't know, we'll see. We might have to smooth it out a little bit more, but for now, while this is drying, I'm gonna go to the other side and knock it out. Close it down. That's it, got a fresh little piece of Scotch-Brite pad here. Let's start going to town again. It doesn't take super long to get this sanded down, but it definitely takes some effort, so I wouldn't go using like a DA or anything powered, because I feel like you're just gonna cut right through it so fast that you're gonna get yourself in a situation and end up having to redo the whole thing. So just do it by hand, take your time, sand it, and bring that black paint or whatever color you're using underneath, bring it out where you want it, and just a little bit at a time. It's a whole lot easier to take it off than put it back on and redo it again. So I'm just gonna start scuffing this down and we'll see how it looks. All right, that looks like a good initial on this side too. We're gonna have to let that dry so we can really see what it looks like. But we can hop over to the other side and see how that's coming out. All right, not too bad, not too bad. You can see it's really starting to pull it together now. I feel like we definitely need to bring some more black out compared to the front here. I didn't realize how much black there was. And if you look up here, definitely not as much. So I'm gonna have to sand this down some more and see if we can't get it to match. Looks like maybe just below the body line, we'll kind of mimic that. And then some up here on the top of the fender, maybe I'll mimic a little more of that and see how this comes out. Whew. Oh boy, Florida is always trying to kill you. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how hot it is, but it's hot. Let's take a look at this thing real quick, see where we're at. You can see we kind of brought some of the black in here. I could probably do a little bit more. I'm not sure yet. This is still kind of drying off, but you can see it matches. I don't know how it looks in the camera, but it's matching good in real life. I probably could have used a little more red through here. It don't need to match perfect. You know, patina doesn't always match perfect unless it's 100% original and it's been sitting in one spot for the last like 30, 40 years. But this looks pretty good. The other side I think is still wet. Stand by. Let's head over there and look. Yeah, it's still kind of wet, but you can see we kind of got the same deal going on. And maybe I'll bring a little more black out. I don't know. I'm gonna let this dry a little more, get a feel for it, see how I like it. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's matching nice. I know for some reason in the film here, it's looking a little more faded than this, but in real life, it actually looks really good. And it made those repairs almost disappear. I wanted to leave the seams just enough so you can see I did do a repair there. But from standing way back, you can't really see it, and that's what I wanted. So I may go in and just touch this up a little bit more. And but it's coming along nice. We might put a matte clear on this and give it a little bit of a shine, but if you were to just put a little water on this and just kind of look at what it looks like when it's all shiny, you could see that color matches perfectly. It even matches good on the camera. I say in real life, it matches nice, but I was trying to figure out why the camera looked the way that it did. But when this is all wet, you can see that that all matches. And it looks pretty good. Like I said, we might have took and put a little bit too much splotchy blackness in the bed. And I can go ahead and bring that up into the cab, but I'm not sure yet. I might even spray a little red in here and come back and knock that down. All right, just a quick update into the future. I did go back and spray a little more and blend that in, and I think it looks way better. Let me know what you think. That is matching really, really nice. And once we put some satin clear, it'll bring the colors, like the intensity of the colors together. And I know in the video, again, it's not perfect, but the color match is way better. Just wanted to give you a quick update. There you go. Looking good. A lot better than it was, I think. It was kind of bugging me. All right, so we're gonna wrap the video up right there. I think it gives you a good idea on how to do a faux patina paint job. And the fun part about it is there's no real rules to it. You can do it however you want. But for now, the Florida sun is trying to kill me, and I am done with this job. If you like this truck and you like these videos, share the video, that really does help. But subscribe to the channel, because that'll let you know whenever I'm putting out more videos on this truck right here, because we got more coming. And we're gonna have a lot of fun with this truck eventually once we put some horsepower in the power barn over there. So thanks again for watching. See you in the next one.